Thank you so much, Linda, Adam, Rafael. Great to see you this morning. Great to see you this morning. Welcome to Tucson. We are a spiritual community here that is, we're here for one purpose and one purpose. That's easy for me to say. We are here for one purpose and one purpose only, and I would say that that purpose is to love, to be love, to express love, to welcome love into our lives. Yes, 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 yes. So let's celebrate that today. What do you say? Of course, this is the vision at Unity of Tucson. We envision a place of peace, beauty, and power where spiritual principles are taught and practiced within an ever-growing and dynamic congregation. Here are some faces of the magnificent members of our congregation as they come up for you. Love them up. As you see them, love them up. What do you say?
Once you know where your freedom lies, you can't go back and close your eyes. The truth that cannot be denied. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light.
I think we've got that song down. So yes, once again, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another beautiful Sunday morning. We here at Unity of Tucson are a spiritual community, a spiritual family, and we are here to teach practical tools for a better life. At least that's what I'm here to do, is to teach practical tools to myself mostly, and to you, and to engage each and every one of us into this understanding that there is only one power, one presence, one infinite creative source, and from that all expression and experience flows forth. If you're joining us for the first time today, let me introduce myself. I'm Reverend Jonathan Zenz. I am the senior minister here at Unity of Tucson, and I would love for you to connect with us if you are joining us for the first time today. There is a link in the description of this video where you can go and click on that link and fill out a connect card and just let us know who you are, where you're watching from, and become engaged with us as a community. It is my belief. Check in with what your belief is. You notice that I only ever say what I believe, and I say, here's what we teach, here's what I believe, because I hold firm to this notion that we, as I spoke about last week, we teach doctrine. But if I were to say what we believe is this, this, and this, then we're actually moving into the space of dogma. And we are here to let go of dogma. We teach a principle, and I hold firm in my own space, my own heart, with respect to the belief in that principle as the construct of my life. So here's what my belief is. My belief is that we can engage and move forward our own spiritual evolution through the practice of spiritual principles. Let's read together our mission statement. Within the principles of unity, we are a ministry of love, inspiration, learning, wholeness, acceptance, and joy that empowers all people to embrace their divine nature. And your nature, my nature, it is divine. For one of the things we teach here is that there is nothing that is not God. There is nothing that is not divine. There is nothing that is not this essence of creative life force. And so that's what we're going to celebrate today. Here's one truth I know and hold firm in my heart about you. It is this: you are magnificent, absolutely magnificent. And I'm so grateful that you have decided to let your magnificence shine forth in your experience of this world. I'm going to invite you to reach out to other people who are watching with you today, your spiritual family. In the chat function, wherever you're watching, utilize that chat function to say hello, to greet your friends and neighbors, let them know their magnificence, and do so using your own voice in your own unique, magnificent way. You, of course, want to say hello and acknowledge the magnificence of those who are in the room here today, ensuring that this virtual experience is successful. I want to say thank you to our technical crew. Wally, Don, Aiden, you are magnificent. Grateful for you. Of course, we've got some members of our board here today. I see you. You are magnificent. Lynn, absolutely magnificent. Grateful for you. Jeffrey, way in the back there. Grateful that you are shining your magnificence. Yes, and this magnificent group of musicians, you are magnificent. And just a welcome back to Adam. Good to have you here. So as those messages proliferate, I'm going to invite us all to, in our own time, come to a place of preparation for quiet contemplation. Just allow ourselves to relax right where we are. Let the physical body relax. Let go of any unnecessary physical tension that you may be carrying. I carry it frequently in my shoulders. You can see my shoulders get like this. Just let it go. Just relaxing the physical body. If it's safe and comfortable and you'd like to close your eyes or let them fall to a soft, unfocused gaze, feel free to do so. Allowing the attention to be turned to the inner life. Just becoming aware of the inner activity. letting our awareness be free of judgment. There is no right, there is no wrong. There is only the activity of the mind. And it is a reflection of the activity of the infinite mind, the absolute mind. For our thoughts are God's thoughts. Settling into a focus now on the breath, without control, just becoming aware of the activity of the breath, the gentle rise and fall with every inhale and exhale. I'll invite us to take into our hearts for contemplation for a few moments this month's affirmation. As I read it, allow yourself to see what comes up for you in thought and feeling. This month's affirmation is this: I am rooted in, flowing, and growing in a life of purpose. I am rooted in, flowing, and growing in a life of purpose. I am rooted in, flowing, and growing in a life of purpose. Let us take a few minutes to quietly contemplate the affirmation.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
I am rooted in, flowing, and growing in a life of purpose. A purpose rooted in this understanding: that that there is only one infinite power and presence. There is only one creative source. There is God and nothing else. And so I relax in the knowledge that God being the only thing that exists, and all creation is this power and presence, this creative essence in form. There is absolutely no separation. I let my mind be still and know that I am God, that we are God, that there is only God. In this contemplation, in this understanding, I know that the words I speak are powerful and create the expression of my life, as they do for each and every one of us. And so I speak my word on behalf of each and every one of us right here and right now, knowing that we lead extraordinarily magnificent lives, that there is infinite flow at hand and expressing by means of, through, and for each and every one of us. In understanding this and trusting this, I simply relax with gratitude overflowing from within and let it be, trusting that the word I speak is the law unto life. And it sets the experience and expression of life in forward motion. I let it be so. And so it is. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know. I just want to acknowledge that, you can come on up. I just want to acknowledge that there's a different energy today. I don't know what it is. I feel a different energy today. I don't know if you feel it if you're in the room. I don't know if you feel it if you're online, but I'm feeling just a different energy today. And it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. It's just, there's something different today that I'm really reveling in and enjoying. I hope that you feel as good as I do. Do you feel good? Absolutely. Yes. This is Lynn, who's, this is my birth mother. This is my biological mother. And I say biological mother because there's a long story. We're not going to get into the story today, but she is here to be one of the keepers of the flames and light the flames of faith with me today. And I'm grateful that you are here. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so we do this ceremony, this ritual every week to honor the faith traditions and the spiritual practices and the religious ideologies that encompass our entire world, and honor this understanding that each and every one of them is born from one golden thread, and that thread is love. And so this month we've been exploring and reciting the purpose statements for each of these traditions. So with each of these candles we light, we are honoring the purpose of that tradition, understanding it from our perspective, and loving it up. And so we light a candle first for the Tao, which teaches that the purpose of life is inner harmony, peace, and longevity. This is achieved by living in accordance with the Tao. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, which teaches that through a close relationship with the natural world, one gains guidance, support, and wisdom to live their best life. We light a candle for Hinduism, which teaches that we are able to escape bondage, ignorance, and a state of illusion through multiple experiences of life. Each life leads us closer to enlightenment. We light a candle for Judaism, which teaches the highest calling is to obey the commandments of God and to live ethically according to law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, which teaches the purpose of life is to avoid suffering and gain enlightenment. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, which teaches salvation from sin through faith in Christ, through sacraments and through good works. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, which teaches that through submission to the will of God, one will gain paradise. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, which teaches that the soul is eternal and essentially good, and that the purpose of life is to develop spiritually and draw closer to God. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, which teaches the divinity of all creation and the supremacy of thought over matter. Through a law of cause and effect, one can recreate the circumstances of their life. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them, and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. And this final candle we light is a candle which represents the healing of any circumstance that requires the revelation of the divine, the unfoldment of God. For that is the nature of healing, the revealing of the God essence at the core of all creation. So this is your candle for whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. Thank you. The candle on your left is our peace candle, which we keep consistently illuminated with this understanding. Its consistent illumination is a reflection of the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts. And as we allow that inner illumination to shine forth from each and every one of us in our thoughts, our deeds, our actions, our intentions, we create a more peaceful experience of the world for ourselves and for everyone. So let's honor this candle by reading together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established, and peace begins to reign in the world. The featured song of the day really requires no introduction. You will know what it is the moment the opening notes start to play, and it's literally just a song I wanted to sing today. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you need a friend, I'm sailing right behind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. Thank you. As I think about that song, just for a moment, because the thing is, usually what I try to do is I try to wrap up some message in the song with what I'm going to talk about for the day. And literally, I just wanted to sing the song today. And in some ways, it has nothing to do with what I've prepared to talk about today. It's my prerogative. I get to talk about what I want to talk about. But as I think about that song, I think about for me, this is one of the greatest songs ever written. It is such a magnificent amalgam of lyric with music. And, I think that when we hear this song, certainly whenever I hear this song, I cannot help but be moved to a place of feeling. And it is in feeling, I believe, that we find the capacity to change our lives. We teach a philosophy that talks a lot about thought, a lot about what are we thinking, what are the things we are thinking, because those things we are thinking are the things that are creating the construct of our lives. And while that is true, it goes deeper than that. For our thoughts are the result of our beliefs, and all of it is colored by our feeling. For beliefs and thoughts that may be rooted in one idea, if there is a feeling around that idea that is not in support of our most magnificent lives, it doesn't matter how strongly we think we believe it, the feeling is going to color the experience that flows forth. And so I love songs that get to the heart of feeling. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will ease your mind. I will ease your mind. I also think about when I was moving to Tucson almost exactly 3 years ago, moving back to Tucson almost exactly 3 years ago, I had left Toronto and I was living in Los Angeles. I left Toronto, went to Los Angeles, and my father and my dad was living in Los Angeles at the time, we got season tickets to a certain group of shows that were happening at Walt Disney Concert Hall. And it was like the singer-songwriter series, and I was super excited about this. And we saw Leslie Odom Jr. The funny thing is I can't remember who the second person is that we saw, but the third person we saw was Art Garfunkel. And that was quite a night. Really, really quite a night. And he, of course, sang Bridge Over Troubled Water. And so I am rooted back in the feeling of that. And I think to myself, what does the feeling of that mean? What feeling are you experiencing right here in this moment? Just check in with yourself. What feeling are you experiencing right here in this moment? And let's not judge that feeling. Let's not say it's a good feeling or a bad feeling. Let's just step into the awareness of what it is we are feeling in any moment. Deepak Chopra talks about pure potentiality. And I think that pure potentiality truly exists within this feeling space. But he wrote this: the source of all creation is pure consciousness, pure potentiality seeking expression from the unmanifest to the manifest. And when we realize that our true self is one of pure potentiality, we align with the power that manifests everything in the universe. The source of all creation is pure consciousness, pure potentiality seeking expression from the unmanifest to the manifest. Everything is flowing forth creatively. That is our lovely experience of this thing called life. That is, when I really came to acknowledge and adopt this as a truth for myself, as a belief for myself, you know what happened? Actually, life got a lot easier. Because I was rooted in this idea that pure potentiality, that infinite potential within each and every one of us is showing up at all times. And the only thing that ever limits it are our thoughts, our beliefs, and our feelings around it. And so our work in this thing called life, I hold to this idea. Our work in this thing called life is to unleash that pure potentiality without any limitation. Pure abandonment. To live the most magnificent expression of life we can. In this exploration of self, which is really all we're ever talking about, the self. And a lot of people say, wow, you people are so narcissistic, you religious New Thought people. You're very narcissistic. And I say, no, we're not, because we understand that the infinite self that we are is the same infinite self that everyone else is. And you know what? That gives me the capacity to live in love more profoundly now than ever before. And I'm always growing in that. That's why I talk about spiritual evolution, because I'm always growing in that potential of love. So in this exploration of self, being the infinite self, showing up as me, the self, and you, yourself, let us let go of this idea that we are ever looking at the conditions of our life to define ourselves. Now, what do I mean by conditions? The stuff of life. The stuff. We so frequently align ourselves with the stuff of life. If I just have this one more thing out there to own or to hold on to, then my life is going to be that much better. How about this? What if we bring the concept of a better life to what we are currently experiencing and welcome the flow of that which is reflective of that which is better in our minds and our hearts, from thoughts, beliefs, and feelings into the experience of our life? Let us let go of the notion that anything out there defines the truth of who we are. This has been a hard year for a lot of New Thought ministers, because many of us define our success by the people that are in the room. And so we've lived through almost a full year of not having people in the room. But we don't define ourselves, we don't define the expression or the concept of success by the circumstantial. Let us root ourselves in the faith, the essence of our pure potential. For that is the defining factor, I believe. Here's the thing, conditions are temporary. This condition is temporary. It may seem like it's somewhat permanent, but it's temporary. I hold firm in the knowledge that this condition is temporary. The infinite self, you, me, our infinite self, that is what is permanent. When we look to the conditions as the things that bolster us, and it's not just even this. Any number of us may look to the conditions as the thing that bolsters us. Many people put to the condition of the type of car they have to make themselves feel relevant in the world, right? Cars, money, jobs, relationships. We actually give up our power to those things when we do that. If we are looking at the conditions as having any authority over our experience. We give our power over to those things. And it actually sets us up ultimately for failure in the experience of life, because frequently what we are doing is we are looking for those things. We are looking for a response an external response to those things to make us feel good, to make us feel better. And we fear a loss of those things when we put our power into those things. We fear the loss of those things because we will not know how to define ourselves in the loss of those things. Ooh, fear. Boy, that's a big one, isn't it? We fear so frequently. But what is there to fear? And I hear myself saying, but fear itself. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. We should let go of fear. Of course, everyone, I think, knows what is fear. It is false evidence appearing real. My favorite is face everything and run. Let's let go of those concepts of fear. Let us let go of the fear entirely. And the fear only shows up when we trust in the circumstances over our own mind and over our own hearts. Now, what I am not saying that we should not have things in life. Let's face it. I have a beautiful home. I have a beautiful relationship. I have some nice cars. I have nice things. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't have those things, but I am not about to put my power for the way I feel about myself into those things. We should absolutely have the things we want in life. But we should also know what the source of those things is. The source of those things is the infinite. Today is day 31 of this 40-day prosperity thing I've been doing on Facebook at 7 o'clock every single morning. I started it on January 1st, and every morning at 7 a.m. Arizona time, I have been live on Facebook talking about the nature of prosperity and rooting us in a spiritual practice of contemplation over principles rooted in prosperity. And ultimately, the whole point and purpose of this prosperity program is to let go of this idea that money, that things are sourced from outside the infinite. Our source and supply comes from one place and one place only, God. God, the essence of all that is. It is not sourced from your job. It is not sourced from an inheritance. It is not sourced from anything outside the self. One source for all that is, God. And we are that which is. That is the identity of our true self. It is in the understanding of the true self that those things are attracted to us. When we know our inherent value, when we know our value, when we know our worth, we draw into our lives the things that are reflective of that value. So, here's a question for you. Do you place a high value on your own self, or do you place a low value on your own self? And if you are not sure how you place your value upon yourself right now, here's how you can find out what that value is. Nobody's going to like to hear this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Look at your life. Look at your life. Is it a life that you are loving living? Or is there some room for improvement? If there is room for improvement, it is not about changing the thing out there. It is about up-leveling your own sense of self-worth and value within. So if you are defining yourself in terms of the stuff you have, or in terms of the job you have, or in terms of the house you live in, if you define and value yourself by those standards, here's the thing: you are sure to fail in the experience and expression of life. Imagine your life without all those things. Imagine if all of it was suddenly took away. Wow. Imagine if my capacity to speak utilizing proper grammar was taken away. Imagine yourself without those things. What would life be like if all of those things simply went away right now? There are people who have that experience. I've known people who have had the experience of seemingly every material possession in their life being stripped away from them. I've known people who have experienced wildfires, that have had houses burned down. I've known people that have experienced natural disasters. And what is realized within that is there is something more important that they own than any of the stuff that they have lost, and that is the truth of their being, the truth of who they are. I think the initial response to having things taken away might be, for many of us, going to that place of fear. especially if we have aligned our identity with that stuff. I learned this lesson. I know I tell this story a lot. You know what I should do is I'm going to tell this story very quickly again, but I should also just put it into a book at some point, because then I can be done telling the story and just say, there's a story that I talk about in my book. And then you can go read the book. Here's the story. The story is this. When I left New York City back in the year 2000 to move to Los Angeles, California, I was in a toxic relationship. The toxic relationship is not really the point of the story, but we moved to California together. We moved to Los Angeles together. We got an apartment. We set everything up. It was beautiful. We utilized a lot of credit to buy the things. Credit, well, there's a whole talk in the notion of credit. We bought a lot of stuff utilizing credit, and it was essentially my credit that was used to buy things, not his credit. And when we ended the relationship, and it was not a happy, pretty, well, it was a happy ending for me, but it was not a pretty ending, that's what I should say. I left the apartment and did not come back for a week. Toxic relationships often end in that kind of behavior. I left the apartment, I didn't come back for a week, and we had some conversations on the telephone about how this was going to play out, and when I came back to the apartment, knowing that he had decided that he was moving back to New York City, I came back to the apartment, opened up the door, and there was literally nothing in the apartment. And that's when I had a major spiritual lesson. The degree to which I align myself and my value with the stuff that was in that apartment is the degree to which I can move forward facing and experiencing major disappointment in my life. Now, my initial reaction was fear. What am I going to do? I thought, I'm going to go to IKEA. I'm going to get some new furniture. I let that go. It was a great spiritual lesson to say, I value myself more than I value the stuff I hold on to in my life. It was a day that I met myself, the truth of myself. And in that was someone I was pleased to meet. Which brings me to today's, the title of today's message. A question I think we can all ask ourselves. Are you pleased to meet you? Am I pleased to meet me? If I look in the mirror, am I pleased to meet me? Are you pleased to meet you? I think that if we find that space within that is pleased to meet ourselves, and we up-level our understanding of our own value and our own self-worth, we find ourselves absolved of any past ideas that may have limited us. That's the power of new thought. We are consistently stepping into a new thought, a new belief, a new feeling, and the potential for what those things are, the potential for what those thoughts, beliefs, and feelings are is infinite. There is absolutely no limitation. And so what are you doing today to step into a new thought, perhaps, about yourself if you have discovered some aspect of yourself that you are not pleased to meet? There are many roads to uncovering those aspects of ourselves that we are not pleased to meet. I'm grateful for a particular program that I'm leading 6 intrepid journeyers on right now, and that is the program of mental muscle. I've talked about it, this 16-week spiritual boot camp, which is not about intellectualizing something on paper, some quote that somebody wrote down. It is about spiritualizing the experience and expression of our lives through our intellectual understanding first and foremost, but rooting that in a place of feeling. Mental muscle for me is a place where you have a chance to meet yourself in a structured way and begin to change the habitual thoughts, the habitual beliefs, and the habitual feelings that we apply to the experience of life. I'm going to talk very quickly and invite 3 things. These are not part of mental muscle, but these are 3 practices that I think we should all engage in. And I'm going to encourage you to engage in these practices this week. I think we should all begin to, if you don't have a meditation practice, and I know many of us do, and if you do have a meditation practice, find some new way to experience your meditation practice. But meditation is the first of 3 practices that we can utilize to find that which is pleased to meet ourselves. Chopra Deepak, the man, says this: stillness is the first requirement for manifesting your desires, because in stillness lies your connection to the field of pure potentiality that you can orchestrate an infinity of details for you. I didn't really read that very clearly. I'm going to read that again. I'm going to make sure that it is clear. Stillness is the first requirement for manifesting your desires, because in stillness lies your connection to the field of pure potentiality that can orchestrate an infinity of details for you. What he's saying there is this infinite pure potentiality is there awaiting your acknowledgement and experience of it. And in stillness, we find that. And in that, the pure potentiality can orchestrate an infinity of details for you. So this week, I'm going to encourage each and every one of us to meditate either for the first time and begin to embody a meditation practice, or if you are a regular meditator, I don't know that that's a word, but I'm going to use it as a word. If you are already someone who has a meditation practice, find a different way of experiencing it. That's practice number 1. Practice number 2, let go of judgment. Super easy to snap into judgment, but judgment is about the things out there, you see. It's about the things out there. And what if there is no right? And what if there is no wrong? There is just what is as it is presented for you. Judgment robs us of the capacity to be able to actually do something about that which we experience. So, to practice non-judgment, you have to first identify where it is in your life that you judge, and then step into the willingness to let it go. Deepak Chopra said this: judgment is constant evaluation, which creates turbulence in your internal dialogue. This turbulence constricts the flow. It constricts the flow. So step out of judgment. Step out of judgment. And the third spiritual practice that I'm going to encourage us all to engage in this week is this: spend time in nature. I spend a lot of time sitting at my desk inside with the constructs that we build up around ourselves for comfort. Spend time in nature and find the comfort in the natural world. Find time every day to step out of the building, to step out of the construct, and step into the infinite by spending time in nature. As you allow yourself to commune, what I believe you will find is this infinite flow of divine intelligence that cracks us all open. Feel the unity of all life in this practice of spending time in nature, and sense the harmonious flow of the magnificent divinity that is your core. Meditation, living a judgment-free life, and spending time in nature. Those are the 3 things I'm going to encourage us all to truly step into this week. You are the unfolding of the universal power and presence. Because there is no thing that is not the unfolding of the universal power and presence. Can you root yourself in that as your inherent value? You can have all you desire. That's the truth. You can have all you desire, but do not allow yourself to step into that desire from the concept that it will make you feel better about your life. Know who you are at the core. Know the truth of who you are at the core. Are you pleased to meet you? Because I'm pleased to meet you, because what I see in you is infinitely pure potential. And as we step into that infinitely pure potential and let that become the foundation for the experience and expression of our life, life just gets better. Life just gets better. So choose today to be a person whom you would be pleased to meet. Namaste. So as the band makes their way back up, I'm like, well, I've already given the homework this week, but I will reiterate the homework. It is meditation, actively releasing judgment, and taking time in nature. I encourage you to find the opportunity to do those things every single day for the next week and see how your life changes. Be an observer of your life. Be an observer of your life. I'm going to invite you to take whatever kernel of truth has welled its way up in you and allow yourself to settle into that idea right here in this moment as we take a few minutes in Spirit's prayer.
Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender. Let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Loving Spirit does indeed dwell within me, for it dwells within all creation. For there is no thing that is not this loving Spirit. There is God's source energy and nothing else. This magnificent principle, this essence of all creation, is showing up as all things. I acknowledge the good in all form, for I know that all form is the construct and the flow of God. And in understanding this principle, I recognize that this is the truth of me. I am not separate. None of us is separate. No single person is separate from God. God is even more than what we perceive as a divine spark of life within. It is the construct of all that is our life. And so I know that it is the power of this understanding and the power of this essence that allows me to set the tone and experience and expression of my life through the acknowledgement of the true self. And this is so for each and every one of us. I hold this as truth in my heart. We are each and every one of us on this perfect, pure journey to know more deeply the truth of our self. And this self is someone whom I am pleased to meet. I acknowledge with gratitude this great good, and I simply let it unfold. I step out of the way of the need to manipulate or create, and I trust in pure creation flowing forth as the expression of my life. Trusting this is so, for each and every one of us. I let it be so. And so it is. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender. Let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me now and evermore. Now and evermore. Thank you. I'm going to invite you to step into a feeling and sensation of gratitude. Just check in and see what gratitude feeling exists within your heart right now. And if it is aligned with what we are doing here and aligned with the vision and mission of Unity of Tucson, I invite you to put that gratitude into a giving practice. I am grateful. I'm grateful for this community. I'm grateful for the work of this magnificent organization. I'm grateful for my experience of life. I am so grateful to understand the principles that we teach and to embody these principles. And so in gratitude, I choose to give. And so I invite you to look in your own heart and to see how you choose to give. For giving is a great construct for receiving, and we keep ourselves in the infinite flow of life. That's what we're here to do, to be participants in the infinite flow of life. So there are many ways that you can offer your gratitude through giving. You can go to our website, unitytucson.com, click on any of the donation links that exist there. You can call the office Monday through Thursday, our regular office hours Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and utilize a credit or debit card over the phone to give. Where there's a new way of giving, you can text on your smartphone, text Unity Tucson to 73256, and you can give that way now. We're shaking it up in terms of ways that we can, be in the flow. You can also send in a check or a money order through the mail or any other delivery service you choose. I am so deeply grateful. I am so deeply grateful for the way you support this vision, this mission, and the work we're doing here at Unity of Tucson. Let's step into the consciousness of giving by reading together the divine givingness statement. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to my spiritual center, knowing that it goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless, and returns to me multiplied abundantly. I thankfully acknowledge God as my source. And so in acknowledging that, let's sing. I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. I celebrate
love that song. I just like peps you up, right? I would like to, so a couple of things just to let you know about. Yes, finally, we're back to doing a virtual gathering this week on Zoom following the celebration today. That will begin at 11:30. The link for that is on our homepage. If you go to our homepage at unitytucson.com, scroll down a little bit, you can click the link there. It will open up Zoom on your computer for you. If you've never used Zoom before, you may have to download the little computer program, the little application to utilize it. But the link will automatically prompt you to do that. So join me today at 11:30 online, and we can have some conversation, like in person, you, me, and yeah, it's a great way to also meet other members of our spiritual family who are there. Contribution statements. I want to let you know, contribution statements have been mailed. Your contributions for 2020, we send you a statement that says, here's all the contributions you made in 2020. The reason I'm mentioning this is that they have been mailed. You should have received your contribution statement by now. If you have not received your contribution statement, please call the office during our regular office hours. Again, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., to let us know that you have not received your contribution statement if you were expecting one, and we will look into it for you and make sure that you have that contribution statement so that you can use that for your taxes if you choose to do so. Also, our annual meeting, save the date, February 21st, 2021. It will be virtual. In Expanding Horizons, which just went out the end of last week, you may have already received it, but in Expanding Horizons, there is an insert that explains the various ways that you can engage in that virtual meeting. You can do it utilizing Zoom on your computer. There is the possibility, if that's not your jam, if you're not a computer person, you don't have a camera, you don't have a microphone, you don't know how to do that, you can actually call in using a telephone. So you can call into the meeting, listen to the meeting, and actually participate in the meeting in that way. So all that information is there. It will also be posted on our website. I don't think it's posted yet, but it should be posted this week. So beginning at 11:30, February 21st, 2021, will be our annual membership meeting. Don't forget to let all your friends know what we are doing here. Invite them to join in this magnificent celebration every single Sunday. They can stream on YouTube, they can stream on Facebook, but I'm encouraging us all to go to unitytucson.com/livestream and stream right on our own website. If we all consolidate into one place and have a chat function there, then you can see just how many of us are connecting to this magnificent thing called Unity. Yes. I want to say thank you to everybody who made today possible. I want to say, of course, thank you once again to our technical crew, Wally, Don, Aiden, grateful to have you here. The various board members in the room, grateful to have you here. Lynn, blessings to you. Thank you for being here and helping light the candles. Yes. Jeffrey, thank you for all that you do in keeping this facility going, right? I mean, that's a big job to keep the facility going. I'm grateful for you because it means that I don't have to do it. And I have been a minister who has had to take care of maintenance in a facility before. So thank you. You don't know how much I appreciate it. And of course, I want to say thank you to this magnificent group of musicians. Grateful to have you here today, Adam especially. Thanks for playing with us. And thank you, Linda and Rafael, for all you bring all the time. I, of course, want to say thank you to each and every one of you for making your presence known, not just here at Unity of Tucson, but on this planet at this time. You are magnificent, and I am deeply grateful for you. Let's share the prayer for protection as we end our time here today. The light of God surrounds me. I am that light. The love of God enfolds me. I am that love. The power of God protects me. I am that power. The presence of God watches over me. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And so it is. Amen. Well, it's an idea whose time has come. A new generation decides as one. Of the same small planet we are born. It's never been so obvious before. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air. I think we ought to get along better, you and I.
crystal clear. The borders between us will disappear. Of the same small planet we are born, and there's no foreign country anymore. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air. I think we ought to get along better, you and I. Some say that I'm out of touch with the times, but this world is no place for a future like mine. Well, still, I can see it, and still I believe it. There's too many lives on the line. There's so many lives on the line. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air. I think we ought to get along better, you and I. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air. I think we ought to get along better, you and I. We breathe the same air. Make it a magnificent week, everyone. Namaste.